the calendar says that tomorrow is the first day of spring, and the 2 feet of snow outside says, not so sure about that. So what do we do? Is there something in Jewish law tradition, halacha, about this concept? So I have been learning the Gemara Megillah now to prepare for the Siyum to be made on Erev Pesach, and there's a very interesting Mishnah over there. The Mishnah says, what happens if they read the Megillah in the month of Adar, and that is the proper date, the 14th of Adar, and then they decided that they needed to add another month? Do you read it again in the next month?
No.
Or not? And there's, as you would assume, a lot of different opinions as to what to do. So what we have, as we know, a set and a fixed calendar. And therefore, we just look up on the wall and we say, oh, okay, this is when Purim is going to be. Before we had the fixed calendar, in the middle of the year 600 of the Common Era, the 600s of the Common Era, there was what is called Kiddush al Piriya, as we know that the witnesses would go out, take a look and see if the new moon is visible, come and report to the court, and then the court would decide whether or not to make a new month. And then messengers would go out, especially during the temple times, to see what are the roads like. In other words, is winter over or not? What about the produce? How is it growing? Has winter ended? Not like we had, a fall spring almost, and then it became winter again, and then I assume that there were many things that were killed. Said that the cherry blossoms in Washington were affected. I'm sure many people with their gardens have the same issue. And they had to see whether or not, in fact, winter had ended. Why? Because Pesach is called Chag HaAviv, the spring holiday, and Pesach has to come out in the spring, and we have to have the new grain to be able to start off the Omer at that time. And therefore they had to go out and check and see, can people travel to come to the Beis HaMikdash? Is winter over? And are we going to have the new crop in time for Pesach? And based on that, they would then decide whether to add another month of Adar to catch things up. And as we know, today our calendar is a 19-year cycle, that every 19 years we have a catch-up between the secular and the Jewish calendar. And theoretically, on the anniversary, the 19-year anniversary of your birth date, your Hebrew and your English date will coincide. And it works very, very often. So anybody who is 19, you'll be able to tell when your Hebrew and English birthday was, if you are 38, and so on. And, everybody fits into different categories. So have a good day, everyone, and a pleasant spring.